We've been talking about minimalism for the past 5 years here on the Clean My Space channel. And I so appreciate this conversation. I guess it's a one-sided conversation because I'm the one talking and listening to myself. But I have learned so much over the past 5 years. And that's why in this video, I want to share with you 5 really valuable and important things I've learned from minimalism over the past 5 years. And just to be clear, I don't consider myself to be a minimalist, but I do think that minimalism principles have entirely changed the way that I look at my home and the way that I make purchases. When you decide you want to take a more minimalist approach in life, you have to be 100% selfish. And I don't mean selfish in a bad way. I mean selfish in the way that you are taking care of yourself. There's clearly a yearning somewhere for you to live with less, and you need to honor that no matter what other people think. They might judge you, they might comment, they might think it's weird or different because that's not what they want to do. Your job is not to condemn them or try to change their mind just as much as it's not to absorb their negativity or their thoughts toward your change. Minimalism is not a religion. It's nothing like that. It really is just a mind shift, and it does take a commitment. And oftentimes what people will say about minimalism is once you see something a certain way, you can't ever unsee it and you don't want to go back. So if that's you, respect your journey and be selfish. Making this lifestyle change is not something that happens overnight. It is a very emotional process. It's a very time-consuming process. And for any of us to create a habit, we know we have to do it for 21 days or 50 days or however long the latest research is showing. Habits take time to develop. And that is a lovely thing for us to hear as we're trying to make these changes because it gives us a break. Right? It means we don't have to do it all at once. Instead, we can make these small changes that will add up over time. One of the biggest things that I'm a proponent of with Clean My Space is making small but incremental changes. Because personally, I wouldn't feel good if someone prescribed me to do something so different from the way I was already used to doing it. Like, hello, I'm an established human being with patterns, like I need time. And that's what's so nice about this. We make these small and incremental changes, and then over time, we've developed a habit, and we also get to see where we are on day 30 compared to day 1 where we started. If you're a believer in the law of attraction, then you'll also understand my mess law, which is mess attracts mess. Masses are magnetic, and it's the same thing with clutter. If you have clutter, you're more likely to bring more clutter into your home. The good news is the reverse is true. If your house is tidy, you want to keep it tidy. If your house has less stuff in it, you want to keep it that way. So the nice thing is, as you start to make these changes toward minimalism, you'll actually start to appreciate having less in your home. You'll want less in your home. You'll feel less tempted to bring more into your home. And that's really great too, especially if you're deciding to go room by room or space by space. For example, if you just start by decluttering your kitchen counter, you might feel so good about that perhaps you decide, maybe I want to declutter my kitchen drawers and then my pantry, and then I want to take that into my bedroom and my office. And slowly but surely, that feeling of minimalism starts to attract more minimalism into your life. So when you get stuck, just think about the law of attraction. Minimalism comes down to intention, and oftentimes the intention that's talked about is the intention not to buy. So your ability to go out and about and live your life and not buy a bunch of things or get swayed by BOGO deals or what have you. But the other 50% of that equation is what your intention is when you do buy something. Now, I have long time been a proponent of buying quality over something that's less expensive. And sometimes we get a bit of criticism for it, but I really believe in this because if you can invest in something today, it will last you and you don't have to buy it next year or 3 years from now. It'll be there. That's why I'm okay getting something that is great quality. I want it to be in my life for a long time. I think about that. I'm intentional about the purchases that I'm making. I'd love to be able to pass it down to my daughter or share it with someone in my family when I'm done using it and know that it will work or look as great as it did on the day that I bought it. That to me is really important, not only because I'm looking at things more like an investment than I am just, a consumable purchase. Mind you, there are those consumable purchases that you have to make, but I'm talking about, bigger ticket items. But also, when we think about purchasing, we can be intentional in terms of how we're treating the environment. If we're buying these better quality things, it means they're not going to end up in the landfill in a couple of years, just so we can buy another inexpensive one that will be around for a short period of time. So when you are making a purchase decision, be intentional about what you are buying just as much as you're being intentional about not buying something. One of the lovely benefits of living a more minimalist life or living with less is that you have less to clean. It goes without saying that the less stuff you have at home, the less work you're gonna have to do to maintain it. So let that be a motivation right there. Another small but incremental change you might notice as you bring minimalism into the fold is how it spills over into other areas of your life. Because when you stop bringing unnecessary things into your home, you get rid of the things that don't serve you anymore, and you're only surrounded by the stuff that you love and that you need. You might take that exact same approach to friendships, work situations, your social media or online life. It's actually pretty amazing when you think about decluttering and where else, you can bring that decluttering or that minimalist mindset into your life. I'll give you an example. Let's say you follow 900 people on Instagram. That's very overwhelming. Or you're always looking to get more Facebook friends because that number feels important to you. You might realize that I actually want less. I want to curate what I see. I only want meaningful and important things to be in front of my face and on my feed. And I would be happy to have less friends on Facebook if the things that were popping up were actually important to me and I really truly liked the people who were there on Facebook. It's that same minimalist approach that we take with our objects. We're just applying it to different parts of our lives. And that is an unintended but very wonderful change that comes with that mind shift. So that's me over the past 5 years. That's what I've learned from minimalism. And like I say, I am not your classic minimalist that has very few things at home, but the concepts of minimalism have entirely shifted the way I live my life, the way I buy things, and how easily I can get rid of stuff. So I would love to know what you have gleaned from minimalism in the comments down below. What's been the most salient point for you? And remember, the comments are a great resource for the Clean My Space community or anyone watching these videos. You can learn so much from reading those comments. Our community leaves wonderful, detailed information, so please contribute and please feel free to use them as a resource or a source of motivation and inspiration. And if you're on a decluttering kick right now and you want a little bit extra help, you can check out our 10 Things to Toss playlist, which will help you just sort through all the things. It's very useful. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to the Clean My Space channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.